Pompton Lakes Cardinals and your Fort Lee Bridgman. Now for tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Cardinals. Number 1, Tyler Benway. Number 2, Tommy Courtney. Number 15, Jack Babbage. Number 22, Andrew Adebite. And number 23, Matt Adebite. Head coach, Ryan Schaefer. And on the starting lineup for your Fort Lee Bridgman. Number 4, Guy Vickers. Number 5, Max Greenberg. Number 10, Devin Jag. Number 13, Isaiah Valdez. And number 15, Jacob Greenberg. Assistant coach, Tommy Mushandu, and coach, Adam Schrager. At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Let's play ball.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome here inside East Gymnasium, the home of the Fort Lee Bridgman for this matchup here tonight between the Pompton Lakes Cardinals and your Fort Lee Bridgman. This is a non-conference showdown. It's going to be featuring a matchup of NJIC versus the Big North. Pompton Lakes 13-5 on the season for head coach Ryan Schaefer. They are out of the NJIC Colonial Division, where they are in second place behind top-ranked Glenrock. Fort Lee out of the Big North American Division. They are fourth in divisional play here this season. They're coming off their best win of the season against arch-rival Cliffside Park, defeating the Red Raiders 58-57 in overtime. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by Dimitri Nanis and Renee Matisich. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. First recent meeting between these two sides. Pompton Lakes will be in their road white, while Fort Lee will be in their home black, with the orange numerals outlined in white. Jack Babbage and Guy Vickers will be tipping things off here in this matchup between Passaic County and Bergen County. And the opening tip is secured by Pompton Lakes. Nice stutter step right down the middle of the lane, but no good on the layup attempt. And a rebound secured underneath by Jacob Greenberg. That was Tyler Benway, who was trying to find his way to the opening basket of the game. Benway, the leading scorer for Pompton Lakes, averaging 14 points per game. Max Greenberg, kick out to his brother Jacob in the corner for three. Overshot the rim. Good box out underneath by Jack Babbage. And Pompton Lakes now will go down the other way. Vickers was trying to produce the steal. He's coming off an enormous performance last time out against Cliffside Park. And that time, it's a corner three ball knocked in by Pompton Lakes. Tommy Courtney connecting from long range. First 3 points of the game for either team. Stuff an attempt inside. That's blocked away by Andrew Adabite. And Tyler Benway goes coast to coast the other way for the transition 2. It's a 5-0 start for Pompton Lakes here on the road. Fort Lee 6-13 on the season, but again coming in off an overtime victory. They've had a flair for the dramatic in their last 3 consecutive games, all of which have gone to overtime. Miss on one end leads to the breakout the other way, and Pompton Lakes jumps out to a initial 7-0 advantage. Andrew Adabite averaging 12.4 points per game this season already with his first 2 points there. Vickers had the missed layup on the other end before, and now that time threw it away. Give and go inside, knocked away out of the hands of Benway. He gets triple teamed, tries to throw it out up top, but Fort Lee doesn't pounce on the loose ball. It's been all Pompton Lakes in the first 2 minutes of action here in the first quarter. Adabite right down the middle of the lane and powers his way through the defender. He's got 4 points to start off, and it is a 9-0 start to this game for Pompton Lakes. And this is all Cardinals here, showing why they are a 13-5 team so far this season. Pompton Lakes is coming off a 66-48 home win against the Patcong in their last game on Thursday. Cardinals recently lost in the preliminary round of the Passaic County Tournament to Manchester Regional 50-44 on January 27th, and they come in ranked 11th in the North 1 Group 2 PowerPoint rankings. So a team that is clearly in postseason play if the season were to end today, representing North 1 Group 2. Fort Lee still has a lot to play for as they are on the outside looking in right now in what would be North 2 Group 3. They need to have some power points come their way, and a result here tonight would be huge. Well, they have work to do already, down 9-0. Devin Jang had the defender fly by him. Sets up for the jumper, no good. One and done as Benway with the easy rebound. Here's Benway again, trying to go coast to coast. He got fouled and one. No one stopping the ball there for Fort Lee, and Tyler Benway and Pompton Lakes now extend their lead to double digits. They've scored the first 11 straight points of this game and now have a chance at making this a 12-0 advantage. Vickers was the one called for the foul for Fort Lee. Foul shot no good there by Benway. And finally, Fort Lee is on the board there, as that was Jacob Greenberg. Quick basket in transition for Fort Lee. Gets the Bridgemen their first 2 points of the night. 11-2 margin in favor of Pompton Lakes. Give and go inside. There's bump, and I'm going to say no foul, just last touch out of bounds off of Fort Lee. Just beat a 5-second call there, getting it inside to Matt Adabite. Here's Andrew Adabite. Worked around the perimeter. Babbage with the extra pass to Courtney. Patient offensive set this time now for Pompton Lakes. Team that averages just under 58 points per game. Abite's shot was blocked inside by Vickers. The loose ball Karam out into the hustling arms of Max Greenberg. Good hustle right in front of head coach Adam Schrager. Trying to win back that possession for Fort Lee. Here come the Bridgemen down on offense. Valdez up top to Devin Chang. Chang averaging 14 points per game, second leading scorer behind Guy Vickers. Max Greenberg looking for an opening, has to pull it back out. Greenberg with a left-hand dribble. Tries the up and under move, blocked away. Good defense there by Benway. Pompton Lakes the other way, a little out of control. Tip-in attempt, no good. Adabite getting it back up top. Benway skipping it. Now to Adabite, who banks it in. Matt Adabite getting his first 2 points of the evening. He had a season-high 25 points, 10-rebound performance against Eastern Christian just after Christmas. The Adabite boys solid down low. They lead 13-2. Vickers walled off, trying to fit that in a tight quarter. Now to Valdez, as June Best has come onto the floor for the first time. Here's Devin Jang with a mismatch. Doesn't uncork the shot, though. There's Vickers on the baseline. His shot is blocked away by Babbage. No elevation on that shot there by Vickers. Did not fool the defender at all. Worked around. There's the three-point shot. Too long that time. Vickers with a rebound. Kai Vickers nearly averaging a double-double this season per game. 14.3 points per game, 9.1 rebounds. Valdez is trying to kick it out into the corner to Max Greenberg and got deflected out of play. So a sub is going to be made by Coach Schrager as Guy Vickers will come off the floor. Vincent Garitano will come on for the Bridgemen. Fort Lee has struggled mightily here to begin this game. Only 2 points, and it's 2.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Devin Jang, the best three-point shooter on the team, could not get it to fall. It is last touch out of bounds off of Pompton Lakes, so possession will stay with Fort Lee with 2:33 left to go in the first. 13-2 deficit facing the Bridgemen. Fort Lee averaging just under 46 points per game this season. Again, offense has not been in their repertoire. That's why it's been a struggle this year. June Best was trying to unleash the three ball, but his shot, no good. Pompton Lakes down the other way. Benway with good defense against him by Best. Adabite off the dribble. Good ball movement, nothing hitting the floor just yet. Fear for Pompton Lakes. Andrew Adabite blocked off by Valdez. Under 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Again, this is the NJIC versus the Big North. This non-conference matchup here in early February. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube, courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletic Department. Benway across the middle of the lane, and that long possession ends in another curling shot inside by Tyler Benway. Benway's got 6 points for the Cardinals. 15-2, 80 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Jang gets to his spot, and once again, the jumper can't fall. No offensive rebounding to speak of here for Fort Lee in the first quarter. Pompton Lakes has just had their way. Adabite lost the handle. Stolen away by Jang, and it's going to be a reach-in foul from behind against Pompton Lakes. And that'll be their first foul of the first quarter with 1:01 left to go in the first. Tommy Courtney picking up his first. Each team has only fouled once apiece. Noah Garib has come into the game here for Fort Lee. Well, Schrager trying to find some semblance of an offensive spark for his side. Garib will get it back up top to Jang. Jang across the middle of the lane. Outlets it now to June Best. Best barely hits iron. Rebounded underneath there by Nick Ryder. 35 seconds left to go in the first quarter. That pass off the mark. They were trying to link up with Finbar Oswald inside. And the shot is blocked on the other end by Tyler Benway. He has had himself a great first quarter so far here for Pompton Lakes on both ends of the floor. Benway with 6 points, getting it done defensively also on this far side of the floor with that block shot. Quick pass inside, and it's going to be a traveling violation against Fort Lee. Looks like Garantano was not ready for that pass at all. And when he got it from his teammate, just shuffled his feet right underneath the hoop. Quick work down the other end, no good. Vickers with another rebound. 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Jang across the middle, left the shot short. Ball is loose. Oswald with a rebound. And Pompton Lakes a suffocating defensive clinic in that first quarter. They will take a 15-2 lead over Fort Lee after the first 8 minutes of action. Stick around as we'll be back for the start of the second quarter of play as you're watching Fort Lee Bridgman basketball here on YouTube. So certainly not the first quarter that Fort Lee and Coach Adam Schrager were hoping for here today against a very good Pompton Lakeside. They were held to only 2 points. One made basket by Jacob Greenberg. Down by 13, 15-2, and they turn it over to start off the second quarter. Fort Lee snapped a 3-game losing streak by upsetting Cliffside Park in their last game last Thursday, 58-57 in overtime on the road. They have played in 3 straight games that have gone to overtime against Paramus, Ridgefield Park, and Cliffside Park. And now going out of conference to take on a very good Pompton Lakeside here tonight. Here's a 3-shot on the near side, no good that time by Daniel Marino. Wild running shot by Valdez off the mark. But again, no chance at extra possessions, no offensive rebounds to speak of here in the first half. Devin Jang racing it down. Good hustle play there by Jang. Full court sprint. Got to the loose ball and got his first 2 points of the night. 15-4. The lead for Pompton Lakes. Devin Jang on the board for the first time this evening. Inside, offensive foul against Oswald. Used that big frame just to carve out a little territory, but did so illegally. Offensive foul against the senior big man. And possession will go back over to Fort Lee. Pompton Lakes dropping into a zone. Feeding inside to Vickers. Vickers tried to rush his shot a little bit. Fouled his own miss. Now here's Devin Jang for 3. Hits the rim twice and just not able to secure that knockdown jumper. Fort Lee has been ice cold here in the first half. Fort Lee also answering with their zone defense. And Marino giving it up top. Adabite getting it to Oswald. Oswald spinning inside and banking it in off the glass. Finbar Oswald, the senior who had 4 points in their last game against Opatcong, gets his first 2 points of the evening and extends the Pompton Lakes lead back to 13. Jang, a little miscommunication, nearly turned it over, but was saved by Max Greenberg from being a backcourt violation. Here's Vickers. Speed move on the baseline, got around Oswald, and Guy Vickers gets his first 2 points of the night. Adabite playing a game of catch with Inter Marino. Oswald with the bounce pass. Around the perimeter goes to Babich. Jacob Greenberg watching him. Here's Babich again. Max Greenberg now trying to pick the pocket from behind. Finally, it gets to the 3-point shooting opportunity. Andrew Adabite, not good. Rebounded by Max Greenberg. Jacob Greenberg might have gotten away with a travel. Worked around. Here's Valdez for 3. And finally, Fort Lee knocks down the long ball. Fort Lee starting to come a little bit alive here in the second quarter. After being held to only 2 points in the first, they've already scored 7 points here. And a timeout's going to have to be taken by Coach Ryan Schaefer as his team has been held to only 2 points so far here in this second quarter themselves. As the Bridgmen try to claw their way back in this one, as we're coming up on the midway portion of quarter number 2 here from inside East Gymnasium. Fort Lee will have one more home game this season here at East Gymnasium. That will be in their regular season finale on February 13th as they'll host the Rams of Ramsey. Pompton Lakes trying to, again, claw their way to an even better seed. They will be playing in the postseason in North 1 Group 2. As it's worked around. Ball is loose down low. Squirts out. Here's a shot from up top by Benway. And it's rebounded by Devin Jang. Jang trying to push the pace again, getting it to Jacob Greenberg. Fort Lee again, if you're just joining us, we're stymied offensively in that first quarter. Trailed 15-2 after the first 8 minutes of play. Now a foul is called underneath after Guy Vickers had his defender fly up top. And now that sends Guy Vickers to the foul line, trying to get some more points here in the first half. He's only been at 2 points so far. And Vickers will rattle in that first foul shot to give him 3 points on the evening. Vickers, 23 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks against Cliffside Park. And in that performance, he knocked down 8 3-pointers. An unreal performance for the junior. 17-10. As Adam Schrager getting in his defensive stance on the sideline, trying to urge his team to continue their high-intensity defensive play. That has kept them in this game when Pompton Lakes was in a position to blow the doors wide open. And that time, a little slap leads to the traveling call, and might have been an inadvertent poke to the eye of Matt Adabite. It was a little slow to get back down to the other side of the floor. So Fort Lee down by only 7 now with 3.5 minutes left to go in the first half of play. Almost a steal there, as Babich looking incredulously at the officials, wondering why there was a lack of a call. Into the corner it goes to Jacob Greenberg. Here's Devin Jang. Jang off the dribble, goes in for the layup and gets it to go. Devin Jang with all 4 of his points here in the first half in the second quarter. And Fort Lee has found a way to come back to within 5 of Pompton Lake, 17-12. Now it's the Cardinals struggling to score in this quarter. Adabite looking for an outlet, finds Benway, sidesteps one defender. Back to Adabite, nearly got it stripped from behind by Jang. Babich, 3-ball, no good. Tipped around, Valdez could not strong-arm it as Tyler Benway got free. Benway shifting gears right down the middle lane, good defense interior for Fort Lee. Valdez trying to go coast to coast, feeding it around the horn. Gets it to Murray, who's just coming to the game for the first time for the Bridgmen. And Fort Lee will settle things down with just over 2 minutes left to go before halftime. Valdez from straight away. Contact, and Valdez will head to the foul line to shoot 3. So the only player who has knocked down a 3 so far in this game for Fort Lee gets the benefit of that foul call. And now Isaiah Valdez, who's a very good foul shooter for the Bridgmen, has a chance to earn 3 the hard way. Swishes home the first foul shot. He's got 4 points here in the second quarter. Valdez not even touching rim there in his first 2 offerings. Misfires on the third one, claps his hands in frustration. 3-point ball game. Pompton Lakes on top by 3, 17-14, under 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Adabite out of control, throws it away. There goes Devin Zhang down the other side, and that time he just tried to do a little too much. He had the bigger Benway blocking the shot easily at the rim. Benway goes right to the rim, and he searches for the contact and will get the contact against, looks like Guy Vickers, and for Vickers, that is his second personal foul of this first half. 1:37 left to go in the second quarter, and that'll send Tyler Benway to the line to shoot a pair. And Benway missing on the foul shot. He's 0 for 2 at the foul line. Again, only a banked-in layup by Oswald has accounted for the lone 2 points of this quarter for Pompton Lakes. It was Fort Lee who only scored 2 total points in the first quarter of play. Benway missing on a pair, and the rebound secured by Jacob Greenberg. Worked around up top now to Devin Zhang. Fort Lee could potentially, with a 3, tie the game. Zhang, Euro stepping, missing, but the follow-up inside is good by Guy Vickers. And Fort Lee is back to within 1, 17-16. As we're closing in the final minute of the second quarter. It is like 2 different ball games here in the first 2 quarters. All Pompton Lakes in the first quarter, all Fort Lee here in the second quarter. Wild shot rebounded by Zhang. Now Fort Lee with the opportunity to potentially take their first lead of the game. Zhang is getting hounded there and finally fouled by Matt Adabite, and that's going to be stopping the clock with 48.4 seconds left to go for Matt Adabite. That is his second personal foul, team's 4th. So Pompton Lakes with no more fouls to give here in the second quarter. Greenberg back up top to Valdez. Worked around the perimeter. Here's Devin Zhang for 3. No good. Rebounded on the far side by Babbage. Pompton Lakes trying to push the pace off to the near side. Skip pass. Trying to find Babbage underneath. Behind the back pass, trying to get it back up top. He threw it away, and then it leads to a foul by Tommy Courtney. That's going to be the 15th foul, and that'll send Jacob Greenberg to the foul line to shoot 2 with 25.8 seconds left to go in quarter number 2, and a chance for Fort Lee to potentially tie and take the lead. It was Max Greenberg, and Max off the mark on that first shot attempt. He's still scoreless, looking for his first point of the night. And Greenberg, though, missing on a pair. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch off of June Best and Fort Lee. Remains a slim 1-point advantage right now for Pompton Lakes as we come up in the final 20 seconds of quarter number 2. And that leads to a steal the other way. Here comes Fort Lee. Devin Zhang will pull it back out with 10 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Step back, a long-range 3, and got it! It's Devin Zhang from downtown. He's got 7 points, all of which have come in this second quarter, and Fort Lee will take a 2-point lead into halftime. They lead 19-17. Wow, what a game so far here. Fort Lee was outscored 15-2 in that first quarter of play, but then turned the tables completely and outscored Pompton Lakes 17-2 in the second quarter to actually take a 2-point lead into halftime. So Fort Lee on top of Pompton Lakes, 19-17 as we head to the break. Stick around as we'll be back for the start of the second half of play, as we'd like to thank our proud sponsors here of Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, the finest construction, the law office of Mark J. Sokolich, and Fort Lee SC. Welcome back, everybody, inside East Gymnasium. It's been a topsy-turvy game here today, a game of two completely different quarters. At the end of the first 8 minutes, it looked like it was going to be a laugher in favor of Pompton Lakes, the team that came into East Gymnasium here tonight with 13 wins on the season. They led Fort Lee 15-2. Were just utterly dominant in that first quarter of action. Yet the complete opposite happened in the second quarter. And it was Fort Lee who were the dominant side that punched back, and they outscored Pompton Lakes by a 17-2 margin. And that late three knocked in by Devin Chang actually has given Fort Lee their first lead of the game at 19-17 as we are about to resume play in the start of the third quarter of play, as Fort Lee looking to build off of their emotional win against Cliffside Park in overtime in their last game, trying to make it 2 straight wins and get their 7th win of the season. Dan Long alongside Dimitri Nanis and Renee Matisic, thanks for joining us for our continued broadcast coverage of Fort Lee Athletics here this winter on Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Bridgman this season 4-7 here at home. This is a non-conference showdown. The NJIC taking on the Big North. Pompton Lakes 13-5 on the season. Fort Lee 6-13. But the Bridgemen trying to win again. They have 2 more games remaining in the regular season, and they want to make this push near the end of the year to garner some power points and maybe find their way into the playoff picture. In North 2 Group 3, they have to win this game here today. They'll get a nice bunch of power points against a 13-win team if they could get the victory. Pompton Lakes in their road white, Fort Lee defending in their home black as we're underway at the start of the third quarter. Alley-oop and a finish at the rim. Andrew Adabite with the alley-oop finish, and that's the way to start off the second half for Pompton Lakes. Drawing that one up at halftime, 19-19. Vickers worked it around, mid-range jumper, too long that time by Jacob Greenberg. The ball is secured by his brother Max, who'll set up on the offense. Nice stutter step dribble, flew by the defense of Tommy Courtney. Max Greenberg's first 2 points of the night. That was a beautiful move right to the rim there. The hesitation dribble is what caught Courtney by surprise. Full court pressure trying to speed up Pompton Lakes, but eventually it finds its way into the hands of Matt Adabite. He's got 4, so Andrew and Matt each with the first 2 baskets of the second half. And we're tied up at 21 all. Vickers at the foul line. Leading scorer in the season for Fort Lee with 5 points in the first half. Leading scorer overall in this game is Devin Jang with 7. He's trying to get his second consecutive 3 of the game, but misfired, and Courtney with a rebound. Benway. Matt Adabite getting it inside. Here's Andrew from 3, no good. Tip in by Babbage, he rushed it. Matt Adabite will get the floater to fall, and Pompton Lakes has taken back the lead. Matt Adabite with 6 points in this game, 4 quick ones here in the third quarter. And the Cardinals back in front. Devin Jang off the dribble with the left hand, trying to kiss it in off the glass, no good. Matt Adabite getting it down the floor. Benway maneuvers inside with the left hand. Shot an air ball. Great defense by Guy Vickers without fouling. Jacob Greenberg in the open floor. Got it stripped away by Courtney. Here goes Courtney down the other way. And he got fouled in the act of shooting as Devin Jang tried to slap down to the ball and force a steal. Instead, Jang will pick up the personal. That'll be his first, team's first, with 5:27 left to go in the third quarter. Tommy Courtney, the senior guard, with 3 points so far in this game. That was on the first made shot of the game. Courtney knocked in a 3 back in the early stages of the first quarter. Misfires on the first foul shot. Now second attempt upcoming for Courtney. Missed on both foul shots, but the ball finds its way to the hands of Courtney, who then also missed on the subsequent layup attempt. Pompton Lake still starting to crash the offensive boards. Now finally the board is brought down by Valdez after Pompton Lakes had a couple of in-tight opportunities and eventually leads to an over-the-back foul. That time it's going to be against Matt Adabite. And for number 23 in white, that is his third personal foul. Jacob Greenberg getting it up top to Isaiah Valdez. Valdez sets and fires from straight away. Back rim, no good. Jacob Greenberg with the offensive rebound. Play it out top. Now to his brother Max. And up top to Valdez again. Nice Euro step by Valdez. Missed on the layup. Blocked on his second attempt. Stripped on his third attempt. And then a push foul against Fort Lee. Great interior defense on that entire defensive possession by Pompton Lakes. That foul was officially charged against Max Greenberg, his first. Fort Lee's second team foul of the third quarter. So once again, much like the first quarter, the offensive well has run dry here for Fort Lee. They've only scored 2 points in this entire third quarter. Andrew Adabite, no good. Vickers with a rebound. Devin Jang quickly beating the defense down the floor for the scoop-in layup. He's got a game-high 9 points. 23-23 as we come up on the midway points of the third quarter. Benway with reckless abandon went right down the middle of the lane and got the floater finish. He's got 8. He's the high water man in offense for Pompton Lakes. 25-23. Pompton Lakes trading the lead back and forth here in the third quarter with Fort Lee. Jang got his pocket picked. Murray outlets it. Benway charging right to the rim and back-to-back buckets for Tyler Benway. The senior now up to 10 points on the night. 4 away from his per-game average. Vickers scoops underneath, got blocked at the rim by Babich. Great defense here for Pompton Lakes in the third quarter. Murray trying to sidestep the defender, got fouled on his way to the rim, and Pompton Lakes starting to seize back momentum a bit. That was all Fort Lee in the second quarter. Now their lead is back to 4, 27-23 with Tommy Courtney heading back to the foul line. Vickers picked up the foul for Fort Lee. That's the big man's third. This time, Courtney is able to set and fire and knock in his first main foul shot of the night. He's 1 for 3 at the charity stripe. Both Max and Jacob Greenberg will take a seat on the bench for Fort Lee as Courtney knocks in a pair at the foul line. 6-point lead for Pompton Lakes, 29-23. Approaching the final 3 minutes of the third quarter. Fort Lee only 4 points in this entire third quarter. Vickers, strong move across the lane, banks it off the glass. Vickers with 7 points in the game. Little full court pressure. Babich saves that from being a potential turnover. Vickers has to be careful. He's playing with 3 fouls. Courtney lost the handle momentarily. Now up top to Benway. Benway cuts through. Courtney on the baseline. Adabite inside. Babich turnaround shot is good. Good patient offense there for Ryan Schaefer's Cardinals. 31-25. Pompton Lakes in front of Fort Lee trying to secure the road win here tonight in Bergen County and get their 14th win of the season. Fort Lee needs to win this if they have any hopes of potentially putting together a late run in the regular season that could get them enough power points to maybe get into the playoff picture for the North 2 Group 3 state playoffs. Coming in, they are 19th in power points. Top 16 teams make the postseason. Valdez tries to throw it in. It's stolen away momentarily by Pompton Lakes. Getting on the floor, and it's going to be a loose ball tie-up, and it's going to be a timeout granted here, it looks like, to Fort Lee. After Junhyu Lee, number 2, would come into the game for the first time to try to do the little things on that hustle play there. 31-25, Pompton Lakes in front as you're watching all the action here exclusively, courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. This is the third matchup this season for Fort Lee against opponents from the NJIC, and they have been 2-0 this season against those opponents from another nearby conference. They defeated Secaucus and Cresskill, both here at home this season. Devin Jang throws it away after Best was not ready, and it leads to the layup attempt, but missed on the other end by Benway. Pompton Lakes, that could have been a dagger of sorts here late in the third quarter. Sloppy decision for Devin Jang out of the timeout. But Fort Lee does not have to pay the price. Can they get some execution here late in the third quarter? Here's Jang trying to go behind the back. Down low to Vickers. Vickers with a dribble. Got fouled on his way up. That'll stop the clock with 1:20 left to go in the third quarter. And Guy Vickers will head back to the foul line to shoot a pair. Vickers sinks the first foul shot. He's got 8 points now on the night. 2 of 3 at the foul line. That foul was against Jack Babbage, his first. Vickers misses on the second one, so he's 2 of 4 this evening. 5-point lead for Pompton Lakes, 31-26. Coming up on the final minute of action here in the third quarter. Tyler Benway, the leading scorer for all players in this game, with 10. Skips that pass to Babbage on the baseline. Babbage not strong enough on that baseline floater. Vickers with another rebound. Nice move there by Devin Jang again. He saw that Adebite was trying to set himself for a potential charging call, but Jang sidestepped him, got another layup. Devin now the leading scorer in this game. He's got 11. Lead is down to 3. Benway across the middle of the lane, and off-balance floater falls. Tyler Benway up to 12 points here tonight. Both teams trading buckets, 33-28, coming up on 20 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Devin Jang off the screen, gets it to June Best. June Best beat by his defender with ease and got to the rim for the easy 2. Jang with the steal. Jang with the floater, and he beats the buzzer there. 4 quick points at the end of the third quarter for Fort Lee, and the Bridgemen are back to within 1 as we head to the fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere, fans, in this make-or-break game for the Bridgemen. They trail 33-32 as we head to the fourth quarter here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Devin Jang with that late steal and a floater to beat the buzzer. He's got a game-high 13 now for Fort Lee, and he has pulled the Bridgmen back to within one as we get to the start of play in the fourth quarter. 8 minutes put on the clock, and Fort Lee down by one, 33-32. Dan Long, Renee Matisich, and Dimitri Nanis, thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Devin Jang, he'll go from deep and draw nothing. That time he chucked it a little too far. He's got limitless range when he's on, but Devin really hasn't had that outside shot falling with consistency here tonight. Courtney throws that one away. It's going to lead to a turnover for Devin Jang. He'll slow things down and pull it out 30 seconds into the start of the fourth quarter. Best was trying to make a cut inside. That's stolen away, anticipated by Benway, but he threw it right back to Best. Missed opportunity there for Pompton Lakes. Best looking for an outlet, gets it into the hands of Valdez. Sloppy play for both sides to start off this fourth quarter. Pompton Lakes looking for their 14th win of the season, but Devin Jang with a step-back three, drills it, and gives Fort Lee back the lead, this time at 2, 35-33. Fort Lee trying to make it 2 straight wins on the season, get 7th win of the year. Adabite out of control. His brother Matt secures the offensive rebound. Benway cutting, losing possession, tipped out of bounds, last touch off of Fort Lee. So possession will stay on this end of the floor with Pompton Lakes. 35-33, the lead for Fort Lee. This has been a roller coaster of a game for both teams. Here's Babbage from deep, had a wide open look, no good. Benway, offensive rebound, was trying to rush the tip back, and then on another offensive rebound inside, Benway was fouled. That'll send the leading scorer for the Cardinals to the line. The chance to potentially tie the game with 6:24 left to go. That foul, a costly one at that for Fort Lee. That was the 4th personal foul against Vickers. And Benway has struggled mightily at the foul line here tonight. 4 missed foul shots in 4 opportunities. So Guy Vickers with his 4th personal foul and 6:24 left to go in regulation. Benway missing on another foul shot. He's 0 for 5 at the line. Fort Lee maintains its leads, 35-33. Finbar Oswald back into the game. Let's get past the June Best. Devin Jang straight away 3. Got it! 3rd 3 of the night here for Devin Jang, who's up to 19 points in this ball game. The senior has caught fire when it matters the most. Largest lead of the game now for Fort Lee at 5, 38-33. Vickers cannot afford to foul, and as a rush shot for the missed layup. Vickers with a rebound. June Best will draw the blocking foul against Pompton Lakes, as that'll be the first Cardinal foul of the fourth quarter with 5:42 left to go in the fourth. Fort Lee trying to keep control of momentum on its side here, 38-33. Wise decision here by Coach Schrager. He's going to take Guy Vickers out for the time being and bring on Christian Bruden. Vickers has to be careful. He's off the floor. Again, playing with only 4 fouls. Devin Jang was trying to knock down what would have been his 3rd 3 of this fourth quarter. Got 3 total threes in the game. Andrew Adabite getting it over to Benway. Adabite only with 6 points in the game, gets it to his brother who also only has 6, but it's hot potato. Loses possession, leads to the breakout the other way. June Best in transition for the 2. He's got 4 points and a timeout taken by Coach Schaefer and Pompton Lakes. 5:08 left to go here in the fourth quarter, and it's the largest lead of the night here for the home side, as Fort Lee has run their way out to a 40-33 advantage here on YouTube. I'd like to thank our Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics sponsors again, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, The Finest Construction, the law office of Mark J. Sokolich, and Fort Lee SC. And my, how this game has turned on a dime. First and third quarters were controlled by Pompton Lakes. They outscored Fort Lee in the first quarter 15-2, but then in the second quarter, Fort Lee outscored Pompton Lakes 17-2. In the third quarter, Pompton Lakes took back the lead, outscoring the Bridgmen 16-13. And now here in the fourth quarter, Fort Lee has wrestled back control, turning Pompton Lakes over and converting in the open floor to now take a 40-33 advantage. Pompton Lakes has yet to score in this fourth quarter. Now it's 3 minutes gone by. Full court pressure being put on. Oswald gets blocked at the rim by Valdez, who came from the blind side. Adabite, cross-court pass to Benway. Fort Lee outscoring Pompton Lakes 8-0 so far in this fourth quarter. Bruden with the rebound. Outlets it now to June Best. Max Greenberg, top of the key, getting it over to Best. Valdez will pull it out, and Fort Lee will be a little patient here. And Coach Schrader will take a timeout to talk things over with his offense. 4:25 left to go in regulation. He's trying to do this without his top two scorers on the floor for the time being, as Devin Jang getting a breather and Guy Vickers trying to be kept out of this game right now, playing with his 4 personal fouls. 40-33, the lead for Fort Lee. Again, Devin Jang with a game-high 19 points for the Bridgmen, while Pompton Lakes is being led by Tyler Benway's 12 points. A look at the schedule ahead for both teams. For Pompton Lakes, they'll head back home and host Park Ridge on February 6th, before then hosting another game against Hawthorne on the 8th. For Fort Lee, they will hit the road to take on league rival Dwight Morrow on February 8th. And again, the final home game this season here inside East Gymnasium will come next week on February 13th, as Fort Lee will be hosting Ramsey High School. 40-33 lead for Fort Lee. Coming in out of the timeout by Coach Schrager, it's going to be possession here for Fort Lee. Both teams committing only 1 foul apiece so far here in the fourth quarter. And again, Pompton Lakes still held scoreless in this fourth quarter. Handoff is to Greenberg, who got his shot blocked in the middle of the lane. Good interior defense again by Pompton Lakes, and that was the easiest of opportunities for Adabite down on the other end of the floor. And that led to, once again, the turnover right through the hands, as Andrew Adabite should have had an easy lay-in. Jang kick out into the corner. Best up top now to Devin. Jang with 6 points in this fourth quarter. He's been the scoring catalyst. What a way of dribbling right through the defense, and he got blocked at the rim. Devin Jang showing off the dribbling skills there. Got so low to the floor to allow him to get past the double team and then cut through the defense right to the foul line, and he has a chance to get to 20 points once again this season. Jang had a season-high 27 points earlier this season here at home against Westwood in a win. He's now up to 20 points here tonight on his first made foul shot and his first attempt at the line. 41-33, we're past the midway portion of the fourth quarter. Fort Lee in front of Pompton Lakes. It's Cardinals side again, 13-5 on the year. And Jang up to 21 points here tonight. He's 2 for 2 at the line. Danger time here for Pompton Lakes, their biggest deficit of the night. 42-33, 9-point advantage for Fort Lee. That leads to the turnover the other way. Max Greenberg. Extra pass, getting to Devin Jang. Adadipe getting good close out there. Jang gets by him. Tries to fit it down low into the hands of Vickers. Vickers goes up and one. Guy Vickers gets his 9th and 10th points of the night. Has a chance at a 3-point play. And that was all Devin Jang. Getting an opportunity to find his big man underneath. A tough pass to handle underneath the rim. And Vickers not only held on to it, but went through the contact as well. Vickers swishes the foul shot. He's in double figures. He's got 11. And it's the largest lead of the night now for Fort Lee at 12. 45-33 and a backcourt violation against Pompton Lakes as the wheels have now come off here for the Cardinals. They cannot get out of their own way with 3:15 left to go here in regulation. Pompton Lakes has yet to score in this fourth quarter. Devin Jang now dribbling up top. Time is on the side of Fort Lee. No need to rush. But Jang will see the seas part, but a little too much English on that layup attempt. Good hustle play by June Best as that pass is deflected out of bounds. Last touch off of Pompton Lakes. 2:54 left to go here in the fourth quarter. All Bridgman so far in this quarter. Fort Lee outscoring Pompton Lakes 13-0. Max Greenberg on the baseline, had a chance at the rim, instead passed it out. Devin Jang with the floater across the lane, got the shooter's roll. Jang up to 23 points here tonight. 47-33 as Fort Lee started to pull away here from the Cardinals. Babbage feeding it down low, met at the rim and one. Andrew Adabite getting the first 2 points of the fourth quarter for Pompton Lakes. They're back to within 12 at 47-35. That foul went against Isaiah Valdez. That is Valdez's first. Team second. Foul shot is no good. Babbage tracks it down though. Adabite from deep, no good. Another offensive rebound though for Pompton Lakes. Courtney fires from deep. Back rim, tipped out. Underneath, rebound finally secured by Vickers. Jang will dribble around as we close in on the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. What a performance in this fourth quarter for Devin Jang and for Fort Lee. Max Greenberg open for three. Short. Babbage with a rebound. Babbage pushing it down the other way. No defense whatsoever, and Babbage will just roll that one in, and a quick timeout is going to be taken by Pompton Lakes, stopping the clock with 1:51 left to go in the fourth quarter. Fort Lee's lead is 10, 47-37. Again, this could be huge power points for Fort Lee if the Bridgmen can hold on to this one. Pompton Lakes 13 wins on the season. They are going to be destined to be a postseason team this year. And Fort Lee knows they can get those residual points and have a chance to claw their way up. The team that's in the last playoff spot right now at this point in North 2 Group 3 is Ferris High School with 298 power points. Fort Lee sitting at 19th with 253. 45 points away from that final playoff spot, and this again might be the best win of the season after Fort Lee had just produced their best win prior to this with their overtime victory against Cliffside Park. Fort Lee's got to keep on playing here and get a chance to get to the finish line. 1:51 left to go in the fourth quarter. Max Greenberg just simply was inbounding it, and I think Devin Jang took his eye off the basketball, and that caromed off of the leading scorer in this game for the Bridgmen. And that's a quick turnover. Only a second taken off the clock. Here's Pompton Lakes down by 10, and they have to hurry. Skip pass into the corner. Adabite takes his man off the dribble, rush the layup, no good. Tip and attempt again, no good. Rebound by Valdez. Best with a long outlet down the other way, but that pass is intercepted by Pompton Lakes. Fort Lee has to have a better sense of game IQ. They're trying to throw the ball away, but Fort Lee just simply doesn't take another shot and just holds on to it. They're going to come away with the big win. Bridgman trying to do a little too much here. Pompton Lakes with no more fouls to give. Next foul would be 2 shots. Greenberg inside, blocked to the rim by Babbage, but a late call, against Benway. as that'll be a foul against Benway and will send Fort Lee to the foul line. .1:15 left to go in the fourth quarter. For Benway, that is his first, team's fifth. And Greenberg missing on the first foul shot. He's 0 for 3 at the foul line here tonight. Foul shots the rest of the game for the Bridgemen. Greenberg missing on a pair. Benway down the middle of the lane, left the layup short. Ball pinballs around. Matt Adabite rimmed in and out, unlucky. Fight for the loose ball. Greenberg comes away with it. And finally they find Devin Jang. And if you're Jang, do not give up this basketball. Triple team coming to him. And now a timeout granted to Coach Adam Schrager. Good timeout there as he saw a potential turnover on the horizon for his side. 50 seconds remaining in regulation here. Fort Lee 47, Pompton Lakes 37. Fort Lee outscoring Pompton Lakes in this fourth quarter, 15-4. Bridgemen trailed 33-32 heading into this final quarter of play. Bridgemen again trying to go to 3-0 this season against opponents from the NJIC. They defeated Secaucus in their last game of the Jack Riley Holiday Tournament. And then they defeated Cresskill back on January 21st, 55-43. And as fate would have it, that is the last home victory for Fort Lee this season here in East Gym. 50 seconds left to go out of this timeout. Inbound are coming now for the Bridgemen. They'll drop it down low for a wide open Guy Vickers. Vickers gets the easiest of lay-ins. He's got 13 points on the night. 49-37, back to a 12-point lead. Pompton Lakes looking for the open three, no good. Three has not been falling here at all tonight for Pompton Lakes. They've only connected on 1-3. That was their first made field goal of the game. Benway down the other way for the lay-in. Benway with 14 points to be the leading scorer for Pompton Lakes, but it's going to be too little too late. There's Vickers with the emphatic one-hand flush. 15 points for Guy Vickers. Devin Jang with a game-high 23. Abite hit the top of the backboard on the side, and the time will run out here for Pompton Lakes. Fort Lee with an impressive come-from-behind victory, 51-39. As they will keep their playoff hopes alive with a big victory here at home tonight. Pompton Lakes with the defeat will fall to 13-6 on the season. Fort Lee will improve to 7-13 on the year and will live to play another day, and this will do wonders for their chances and increase those power points. Again, the Bridgemen trying to get into the top 16 to then potentially qualify to play in the North 2 Group 3 sectional playoffs. Fort Lee will hit the road to take on the Maroon Raiders of Dwight Morrow their next time out on February 8th, while Pompton Lakes will head home tomorrow to host Park Ridge in NJIC action. So that'll do it for our broadcast coverage here of Fort Lee boys basketball here on YouTube. Special thanks to our camera operator, Renee Matisich, and our producer, Dimitri Nanis. I'm Dan Long saying so long and take care. We'll see you next time here on YouTube.